Start with PRO Jimoh. Let's look at the initial concept of SARs. Give us a vivid and good picture of what SARs is all about.
Thank you so much. The Special Anti-Robbery Squad has been known before. Now have been reformed to Federal SARs. This unit have been the strike force of the force. We have so many strike forces, such as the Police Mobile Force, the Counter-Terrorist Unit, the Special Protection Unit, and the others have been carrying out core police duty in ensuring that violent crimes are brought to the BRS in the country. SARS history is for more than 40 years now, for over four decades, and they have been making significant progress from the period of Anini to the period of recently of Vampires, of Evans, and of Oro and the likes. And there's no doubt that they have made significant progress in ensuring that we rake in criminal elements, especially those who brutalizes their victims, that engage in armed robbery, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and the likes. But we are equally mindful of the SSs of this organization, of this outfit, and that is why the force put in motion check and balances. We have the escort of the force that go around the country to check what this outfit is doing, and equally the IG monitoring is equally there. Then we brought in on board civil society organization and other NGO, both local and foreign, to go into retraining of SARS personnel to make their comfort to conform with the dictate of the law. Mind you, when the Inspector General of Police came on board, IGP Ibrahim Putu Idris and PM MNI, like we are watching the footage, he rearranged another set of training for SARS personnel and equally directed the evaluations of their conduct. Before you are drafted into SARS personnel, into SARS outfit, you must have served at least 5 years in service, and you must have gone around through the other department of the force where you carry out core police duties, such as PMF, such as counter-terrorism and others, so that you'll be able to act and professionally and be able to carry out the duty that's expected of you. We equally we created an outlet for people to lodge in their complaint, part of which maybe in the course of the program I'll be able to reel out. When you bring in somebody into the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, the kind of training you give him is what makes him different from the conventional police personnel. You heighten his level of alertness and his level of strict and swift response to situation. So in this wise, we are making significant progress in this regard. But of late, when there are outcry and any decision or any policy that is not in the public interest is not a good one. And that is why the Inspector General of Police, based on the issue of NSAS campaign, look inward and set up a committee to look at the SSs of the SARS and to investigate all the activities based on complaints that have been coming from members of the public. But we have discovered that quite a number of those complaints are actually not genuine. Some are genuine, and officers that were found to be culpable were tried within and dismissed after the force. Some were prosecuted. Recently, the AIG in Sotu in Lagos dismissed 4 of the officers after informing the Inspector General of Police of their conduct, and they are being prosecuted as we speak. But of late, recently, I think about 2 to 3 days ago, there's a presidential directive for overhauling of such, and the Inspector General of Police have directed immediate compliance, and we have reeled out all these reform strategies and agenda in the implementation of this. One of it is the appointment of a Commissioner of Police in charge of Federal SARS, who is going to be answerable to the Inspector General of Police through the Deputy Inspector General of Police operation. And we have taken SARS out of the Criminal Intelligence Investigation Department to the federal operation that will be under the DIG. We did this to be able for people to know that transparency in the activities, for them to know that if an agency or if a unit is under a department, for example, and they're still complaining, there's need to take them completely off that department. That does not stop them from gathering intelligence, because intelligence comes from the people, it comes from the locals. And as a police officer, you are carrying out general duties. You can be drafted to serve in any department. So the operation is going to be more intelligent driven. And part of the measures now is that they shouldn't carry out stop and search duty, except where case of crime, armed robbery and kidnapping has been committed, and they will not be informed to move in. And part of it is also to ensure that we are created an human rights desk office in every state command, where such an officer will taking complaint, and such an officer is not answerable to the commander SARS at the state level, but it's answerable to the commissioner of police SARS, federal SARS at the first headquarter level. These are part of the initiative introduced. And lastly, the Inspector General of Police have directed that a medical psychological evaluation should be carried out on all the personnel of SARS to find out those who are suitable and to take out those who are not suitable to other lesser duty that probably will be in the interest of the public. And he has equally directed that the Chief Superintendent of Police, and not below the rank of Superintendent of Police, should be the commander of SARS at the state level. So as you speak, the committee are fine-tuning and implementing this arrangement. Quite a number of those dictates have been accomplished, and others are being dealt with. And equally, when we give out the phone number of contact, the civil society organization, the human rights group, including Mr. Segun Adesanya, who created the hashtag #EndSARS, is equally included on board, so that people will know that any complaint we receive are going to be dealt with appropriately. So we are doing this, and it's in the best interest of the country, because as we are doing it, we have to be mindful also of the criminal element that may want to cash in into this reform that is ongoing. So we will ensure that the presidential directive in this regard is fully complied with.
Let's bring in again the First Public Relations Officer. Now, for a better understanding of the emerging rebranded federal SARS, can we have an insight into what went on before? Of course, the allegation is rife that the old SARS became, as it were, a law unto themselves. How were the SARS in the past organized? Was it every DPO who could set up his own SARS? Was it every state police command that could set up his own SARS?
Thank you so much. In the last arrangement, like our respectable retired IGP, Balasan have rightly said, in the 80s it was formed. AIG retired Fulani Kwajafa was in charge and is still living. They're solving one or two minor health issues. If not, we'll have been able to ask him to plead with him to be here so that he can give an insight into it. SARS wasn't for all comma, even the old SARS, before we move through the federal SARS. But the bottom line is that if you know of recent, there are a lot of issues that are essentials of democracy, which allow people to express their freedom, their right of this and right of that as enshrined and defended in the Constitution. And you can see criminals becoming more emboldened. If you look at what happened to us in Nasarawa, it's not too long ago, that over hundreds of police personnel were killed, is quite fresh in our memory also, and our heart goes to their family. And when you look at what happened in Gwaladima roundabout, where 7 police personnel were killed, and equally that of Edo, Sabongida Ora, where police patrol vehicles were ambushed and they were attacked, the tank containing the fuel busted, and all of them were burnt alive. Then you call it what happened to even the special intelligence response team of the IGP in Kaduna after making arrest of kidnappers who kidnapped one Sikh in Kaduna, and they were ambushed. The team repelled the ambush and 4 of them lost their life. You know, all these send signals to the personnel of SARS to be on guard, because if a vehicle is coming and you are flashing down a vehicle, for example at a road check, you don't know whether you are going to leave after flashing down such a vehicle, because the criminal knows you, you don't know the criminal. So there's tendency for you to be on guard, and somebody will say you are harassing the person. You have to protect yourself. The rifle issued to you by the police authority is for one, to protect your life and to protect the rifle before you start protecting other people. So this sent a sort of signal to even the SARS personnel themselves to be at alert and on the defensive all the time. So, and when you now go beyond that, because there are operational procedures, no doubt, because before, like I said, before you are recruited, you must have spent 5 years or above in other area, and if you are of a certain age, you are not recruited into SARS. But when you train the mind of an officer to the level of withstanding vicious armed robbers or kidnappers, then you have taken his mind out of the ordinary. Then you have to carry out a check and balances on regular basis to be able to curtail its excesses. But to answer your question appropriately, so those kind of incidences have some certain psychological effect on the personnel. And we try to go even on training, even before the issue of reform. But like I said, when the IG came on board, he arranged reform for them. But when we train them not to become emotional, because when you become emotional, if you see a suspect that this is the person that have raped so person, and the person confessed, or this person that have robbed another victim, and you saw him, you know, the tendency as human being to become emotional. So part of the training is to train them that, look, you have to judge, even if somebody have killed 10 people, you shouldn't carry out a judicial killing on it. But when you send such people to court, for example, and you get the suspect being recycled, like let's take the case of One Chance. One Chance people are people that start approaching you with the issue of money, dollars, and other things. But when you fail to dance to their tune and they know you are wise, they strangulate you. And these are people that you take to court. And at the end of the day, you still find them on the street in less than 3 months. And even if the judge or the magistrate that want to, the judge that will attend to it, since a violent crime, that will attend to such a matter, will look at your ways, okay, the suspect is remanded to prison custody. And when the matter comes for hearing, subsequently, the granted bail. Those who robbed the Bureau de Change in Abuja, some of them were immediately released, not to a year. And these people went back and started kidnapping women, mostly from the metro in Abuja, and taking them to Silida and collecting ransom. And these people are equally arrested. So that is why all organs, including the Nigerian police force, the judiciary, and others that are involved in the criminal justice system, should know that it is not quite easy to get an armed robber arrested. And it is not quite easy to take him through the process of investigation. And when you take such a person to court, and the person gets released back, so you recycle suspect, and these people will come more vicious, more emboldened. So what has happened to their colleagues is something that have a psychological effect on their mind. But we are putting a check and balances in place. That is why the escort of the force have been going around to check the activities of this personnel. But that does not mean it's not enough to violate the rights of every Nigerian. But to a criminal, a policeman that is a robber is an enemy. And to a policeman, every person is innocent. And in the process of not being on guard, not being an alert, then you lose your life. And when you lose your life, you can't replace them. And that is why the operation of SARs is to a large extent differ from the conventional operation.
All right, First PRO, thank you very much. Let me, for your views, let's bring in again the Force Public Relations Officer with us here in the studios. I still would like to raise this point. I mean, the unitary approach now to SARs operations, calling it federal SARs, again, it probably is not too relevant, but it has to do with prosecution. Armed robbery and kidnapping are state offenses in the first instance. You know, these are not federal offenses. And then in terms of operations, how do you make it more efficient? Honor Ehomo, Doctor, was raising some points with regard to moving it from intelligence and investigation into operations. And yet, at the same time, we say, look, SARS should be intelligence-driven.
Thank you so much. I think it's important to come to me around this time so that I can let you know what we are doing to tackle all those reservations that they have raised in the course of the program. You discover that we have 774 local governments in the country. It's not all of them that have SARS detachment established there. The establishment is in the state, and the state is to ensure that they cover all the area of the state. But the point I come to limelight now for people to know is that the Commissioner of Police of every state of the Federation is a constitutional thing, have the right of supervision and administration of all the police detachments in that state. And the Inspector General of Police have continued to re-emphasize and re-encode it to their hearing. Now, you have the police mobile force in every state of the Federation. In fact, we have over 66 mobile squadron across the Federation now, under the supervision of the Commissioner of Police in charge of mobile force at the Force Headquarters, who report to the Inspector General, Deputy Inspector General of Police, who in turn responds to the Inspector General of Police, and their processes for their deployment. There are quite a number of things that we have been doing and that we are going to do in this arrangement that is not for public consumption. So because as we, the civil-minded Nigerians are listening to us, the criminals too are listening. So most of the operational modus and the operandis of this arrangement now will not be close in the air. And I don't want to be pushed to the extent of doing that, because I will not definitely do that, because it will jeopardize all the reform agenda. Then, having said that, when you look at the state level, the Commissioner of Police have supervisory role over the SARS in the state. But the SSCs before, like people have pointed out, and that is leading to this reform of a division creating SARS, of the Commissioner of Police creating SARS, which will slow down and cause public outcry, is what is being eradicated. But a lot of things have been put into work as we speak. The IGP doesn't come on his own and come out with this outcome. He called the management team, and he called the CP, called the DIG operation, and we'll look at it properly. The Nigerian police force has so many departments, and these departments are working in synergy. The Force Criminal Intelligence and Investigation Department are there, which the intelligence aspect is led by an Assistant Inspector General of Police. And they have, not only at the force headquarters level, they have at the state, they have at the divisions, they have at the outstation level, those we call those days the CIB personnel, who equally give their report to the DPO, and at the same time send it to the headquarters. So all those intelligence reports are going to be accessed and used by federal SARS. And equally of note is that for long, except people don't take time off to read what we have been achieving and what we have been doing, we have the scene of crime expert that are domiciled in every command. This scene of crime expert, when crime is committed, for example, maybe violent crime of murder, of armed robbery and the likes, scene of crime experts go there, tape and gather evidence. And this evidence are used in prosecution. And when you talk of the prosecution in court, it is not the SARS personnel that prosecute. Nigerian police force today, I make bold to say that we stand out to be the single organization that have the highest number of lawyers, including public or private sector. We have the highest number of lawyers to prosecute for us. So this is to ensure that we work in synergy. There's going to be a good synergy and cordial working relationship between all the departments of the force. So the issue of maybe they are intelligence driven or not wouldn't arise. They are going to be intelligence driven based on the intelligence obtained. They have the right equally as a unit to cultivate informant and get information from them. But the intelligence branch of the force, which is at the force headquarters and each command and each division, gather intelligence and forward to them and they act on it. So a commander SARS, for example, in Lagos, doesn't need to call the CP in the force headquarters to engage robbery incident. But what we are saying is that once he's engaging and carrying out, even the issue of this issue that we have in Ikorodu for a very long period of time. Bado boys. Were quenched by SARS, what do you call it, outfit. So
not SARS from Abuja.
No, what I'm saying, they are from Abuja, but they are domiciled in the state. That is why you have federal SARS commander in every state, who should be the rank of a CSP and not below the rank of a superintendent of police, and has all his personnel. So there's not any problem that's going to arise from that, because he's domiciled in the state, he's living in the state, his formation is in the state, he's not in Abuja. But to ensure transparency and to ensure that we keep tab, not only the police mover for that is on that unitary arrangement to the force headquarters, the special protection unit are equally there in the state, the counter-terrorism unit are equally there in the state, the EOD, the Explosive Ordnance Department of the Force, are equally domiciled in the state, and they are carrying police function in the state, and they are under the supervision of the Commissioner of Police in the state, and the Commissioner of Police in the state have the right to deploy them. But it's only when you give wrong, don't obey lawful, what they call it, instruction. That is when the SARS commander will say, no, this aspect of thing is not the responsibility. And you know the activities are being reduced to only armed robbery and kidnapping, while the divisional headquarters will carry out other call police duty in the area of maybe you have complaint of maybe assault, you have complaint of any disturbance anywhere. They are not going to be used for escort or probably for crowd control or probably to engage them in any duty that is not specified in this arrangement. So we want Nigerians to disabuse their mind that putting them under a unitary command is going to cause lapses. It will not. It will make the job better. Thank you so much. That has been done even from the footage from one of your reporters before the background. You can see that there's a season of training that's going on, and the IG took his time off to even be part of that training to equally lecture them opened the training and was there throughout the training. So that evaluation has been done. But what we are doing is to make it constant, and that is why the IGP have directed that we bring those people on board again to start this round of training. And the medical stroke psychological evaluation has already commenced. And like I said, largely, most of the things we do within is not something we take to the media.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, first PRO, thank you very much. We understand that there are some helplines that members of the public can access in case of any complaints that they may have. You can see the numbers on the screen. It's on that note, while we still have the number